Welcome to World Town FC. Hopefully you're having a decent day. My name is Mark and I will be the host once again. So then, this is covering tactics and the 4123 DMY. It really took a lot of time. Um, Covered the mentalities, team shape, team instructions. So then, let's go to another formation that I prefer to use. This is like the attacking version of the last one, so it's like two different, they're kind of like mirrors. This is with the attacking midfielder, as you can see, number 13 here. That's an option. This is an option I think is very standard in the real world. It's between this, the 4-1-2-1-2, Diamond, the 4-4-2, the 4-3-3. I think these are the formations that most people use. Although some weirder, not weirder, some rarer formations that aren't uncommon would be a 4-5-1. I don't particularly like that. Sometimes people play with a 3-back, Juventus style. I think that's more Italians use a 3-back, 3 center backs, no wingers. No, I mean no fullbacks. They have wingers instead, or wide midfielders. So then in this formation, I do not have set a complete wingbacks. That's way too dangerous. You don't want to leave a hole or be exploited and stuff like that. That's pretty sad if you do get exploited. Just realize it's probably not a good idea to have complete wingbacks when you're running a 4-2-3-1, but it's your choice. It doesn't really bother me too much. You learn from experimentation and you realize what will happen. And Jurgen Klopp was one of the people, I'm pretty sure the other people, but Jurgen Klopp, one of the successful managers of Dortmund, he pioneered this style of counter-attacking football, although I run standard mentality. Although it's probably better to run counter. To me, it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, so it's more or less the same. Central defender, ball-playing defender. I personally would prefer to have a ball-playing defender in there because they kind of dictate the passing a little more. They're probably much better passer than an average center back. What else is there? You always have a ball-winning midfielder, although this guy's, instead of on support, he's on defend. I need him to win the ball back because there's nothing to cover to the center backs. This is him. This is it. It's just this guy. The ball-winning midfielder. Then there's an advanced playmaker. Obviously, I always prefer to have either a roaming playmaker or advanced playmaker. And then the new one is the attacking midfield. They have like multiple options. Advanced playmaker, the same as central midfield playmaker, more or less the same. Then they have a trequartista. Trequartista, I think, is more or less the same trequartista if you play farther up as a striker. And then there's enganche. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but enganche is pretty useful. I've used it. I'd say it's fairly decent. It's an okay option. I think it's more of an extreme version of a playmaker. As they say, it's a prime creator of your side. Then there's shadow striker, so it's an extreme version of attacking midfielder. As it explains, it's your team's main goal scoring threat. I've never used this very well. I mean, you could utilize it, but I mean, I don't know how to explain it too well. It would probably conflict with their striker up front, the main striker, but I've never used it too much, so I don't really know. I mean, I've used it before. It seems effective, maybe. Hard to say. I mean, if your attacking midfielder is a shadow striker, you play him as a shadow striker. So it's pretty self-explanatory at that point. If the game's telling you their best position is shadow striker, for example, if I just go to this guy, Martin Watchster, and I said you're gonna play shadow striker, I'll tell you what he's good at. Okay, what you need to be good at to be good shadow striker. They highlight it for you. They tell you what you need to be good at, and he's fairly decent. He's not very aggressive. That's gonna be a problem. But for the most part, all his other stats seem to be pretty decent on that front. So yeah, the game helps you out a lot. They actually tell you what he's good at. So like for example, they say his best position is goalkeeper, which he probably is, but I like to play sweeper keeper. So his composure is going to matter, which is not horrible. It's 14 for a guy who's 19. He's a decent goalkeeper, I'd say. I don't really mind too much. He played 17 games for me last time. All starts last season. 6 allowed, 12 shots. 12 shutouts, my bad. Average rating 7.42, so I'm not playing him out of position by playing him as a sweeper keeper, that is for sure. This is more of a traditional, I think, formation, which I think most teams should be able to utilize, because I'm pretty sure a lot of teams have at least 2 or 3 attacking midfielders. Yeah, that's about it in that term. And then I've tried a 4-3-3 wide. It didn't work for me because I guess the team doesn't have practice. The team is pretty much either 4-1-2-3 or 4-3-2-1. Excuse me there, I just yawned. So then you can even go more in depth, like per player, say roll it out. Yeah, I always try to tell the goalkeeper to roll it out when he can. I think it's probably a little detrimental if the opposing players playing on a the AI is playing on a prevent short goal distribution. Problems might happen. Yeah, you can be specific. It's like, tell your complete forward, what will he do? And then you tell him what to do. Close him down. Distribution wise, such as passing, possession. Very important. I don't really care too much. They can do whatever they want, I think, for the most part. Besides maybe the winger. I don't know. I don't really tell him. Oh, roam from position. Yeah. I tell this guy to roam, but it doesn't matter too much. And set pieces, it's just pretty self-explanatory. It's like long throws. Just say best long throw. Send them out. Preferred. Yeah. Okay. Free kicks is pretty not simplistic, it's pretty straightforward. You just look for the guy who has best concentration, best first touch, technique, free kick taking, attributes. Those are pretty important. Corners as well, corner attribute, concentration, vision, a lot of mental stats that get accounted. Captains, just leadership and determination. It's pretty much it there. It's pretty simplistic. Opposition instructions, I don't really preset anything particularly. And analysis. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Just ignore those numbers there. But for the most part, oh yeah, set pieces, penalties. I always play the guy who has the best penalties, best composure, best finishing up first. Yeah, I think that's in terms of tactics. Maybe a little, something I learned, a nuance-ish thing, like something that's not obvious, is say, like, this side of the defense is weak. You play the ball-winning midfielder there, on the side that's weak behind him, and, like, in real life, if you think about it, it actually, it solves the problem of them being weak, is because you apply a guy who will roam a little more, who will be around this side of the pitch more, win the ball back. And vice versa, if this is a weaker side, you put the ball-winning midfielder on this side. Other things the game actually tells you is, like, for example, you have a winger. I think I changed it. I think one of these is weak, but for the most part, that's like the only thing I changed about this guy. Maybe I didn't. I don't even know. I don't even remember, to be honest. But yeah, for example, if you play a right winger, you should I think there's a slight incentive, or the in-game engine gives you, is if he's left-footed, he'll score more often if he's right-footed on the right-hand side. And if you're on the left-hand side, if he's right-footed, yeah, if he's right-footed, he'll score more. It's easier to score on that foot. Same with the striker. A striker that sits on stands on the left will score more if he's on the right, left-footed on the right, and vice versa. In terms of defenders, I can't really tell a difference performance-wise, so I don't know too much. And that winger deal about the right footed should be on the left to score more. It's hard to say. Maybe the cross easier if you're a fullback and you're opposite sides. Like you're on the left but you're right footed. I think that might help on the crossing. Hard to say. Maybe it's vice versa on that. Maybe it's not vice versa on that. I haven't noticed too much. Yeah, besides that, I think I covered all for the tactics. There's familiarity. It'll tell you how well your team has learned the formation, the mentality, the passing style, the creative freedom, the width, the tempo, the marking, and closing down. I believe that's it. I've never really tried any other formation besides one with 4 back. I think 3 is just too little. If your wide midfielders don't take care of the defensive problems, I always see a 3-back system being exploited by wingers. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, logically, like through my thought process, I think they do get exploited. 5-back is really defensive. Don't know if that's really necessary. I've never seen a 6-back. I don't know if that's possible. You could play 6 defenders. Lone strikers, it's really a lot of heavy work on the striker, but as long as you have inside forwards, should be able to deal with the problem. A center attacking midfielder that scores should help the lone striker out a lot. Now if you play a lone striker here, that's going to be a big problem. You're going to have to rely on the striker and the inside forwards to take care of it, because you don't have the extra guy there to attack, to threaten. That's another big thing to think about. It's all about trial and error, to be honest. It's like, if these formations don't work in a FM16, then I'll just try something else. It's all about experimentation, learn by doing, right? Just like how Pauly's motto, learn by doing. So yeah, it's all about experience. Whether you learn which team shape is best for your style, what mentality is best for your style, what type of team instructions do you want. It's very intensive. There's nothing easy about it. I mean, you can read all about it, do your best to learn it, then it's up to you to see what your players consist of, what their skills are, and whether you get it out on a specific formation, a specific day. There's a lot of factors involved, but in terms of tactics, you got to do your best to formulate some sort of formation, some sort of mentality, team shape, and instructions to help you win. But besides that, that's about it. Thanks for watching. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to YouTube channel if you're new. 2 links below, Facebook and Twitter. Check that out. You always get updates. Thanks for watching. I love you all. I'll see you all next Friday.